Okay, guys, I am back, and I guess we'll update where we are in these. I went ahead and got these all glued in, and of course, like a goober, I didn't ink a lot of it, so I will go back through and ink it. I'll do that off camera. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little story really quick before we get into everything. I haven't really touched these journals since last Thursday. I was so discouraged. I didn't like the paper. I felt like maybe Amy made a big mistake by putting me on her design team. All those I don't want to say insecurities necessarily, but self-doubts, right? Were just seriously eating me Thursday night. And so, the videos that I recorded, I ended up having to delete. Normally I show you my mistakes and everything. But it just got to the point where I was so discouraged by what I was doing. It wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't, I didn't want, and I think I've said this before, like I don't want a journal ever to go out that there was any negative emotion with it or frustration, because I think that carries over into the items you touch, I'm very much an energy girl, you know, and so when you're putting nothing but negative into something, it's not going to bring the joy you hoped it would. So all that long-winded story, I just shelved it, and I took the whole weekend to kind of reflect, and I'm like, you know what? No, they're okay. For what I'm making, and who I'm making it for, everything will be just fine. Just relax about it. Do the best job you possibly can on it. And, nothing is ever a complete mistake. It's just a chance to change how you look at it, really. And I really believe that. So yeah, both journals do have all of their pockets in. And I'm going to have to tape that up a little bit and put some more papers in the back, I think. But I hadn't really decided what to do. Which brings me up to another point that I'd like to make. I wish that I had watched Amy's altered book series on her Dioria, I believe is the name of the kit. I'm going to try to go back and link that video. She had a very similar experience happen with the papers and that sort of thing. And she explains what she did and how she changed it. And there's a lot of great information in there about picking books. So if you've never done this, watch that video. She goes through it and explains like spine and what you're looking for in an altered book, that sort of thing. So yeah, I wish I'd had that before I picked this one, but now we know. Now we know the challenges that we can face. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get these down. I've decided for this one is going to have this. And then both of them, I'm kind of running low on Christmas material. So they're going to have candy canes. Remember, these are for little kids too. They're probably primarily going to be the ones in and out of these things. And I've decided on a couple, instead of getting a coloring book, because the ones that I found at the dollar store were still kind of weird, like had that weird flimsy paper feel. I'm going to go on the internet and find some free coloring pages, and then I'll download and print those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on here, decoupage this on. And I'm not going to worry too much about the edges, because even though I hated the smell of it, we are going to use that antique Mod Podge over the top of it. So I'm not going to worry about the edges as much, because the decoupage will catch it all. So I'm pretty much just going to get these on enough to where they're not like, flying off or adjusting a whole lot when I'm got the Mod Podge. And if you'll believe it or not, I forgot the water can over and the paintbrush over on the counter. So I'll have to run and grab that in just a second. yeah, so don't, I guess the moral of what I was telling you earlier is don't give up. Do not do it. Do not give up on your project. It is 100% okay to just shelve it and walk away from it for a while. You'll come back, I promise, feeling a little bit better about it. So other than that, how was everybody's weekend? I said in the last video I did get my tree up, which I can go put my pretty new little ornaments on. Turns out I didn't need the glue up there, huh? Oh well. Yeah, ours was eventful again. Grace did some work for that hired hands event. I think I told you guys where they auction the kids like some hours, like the kids go and work. But the auction was obviously a couple weeks ago. That's what that other journal went to. But also the kids get auctioned off in like working groups. So Gracie and her group did some work this weekend. So that was fun. And I love the people who bought her group. Super stellar people. And they got to do fun stuff. They got to help her decorate the outside a little bit more, get some more of her Christmas lights up and stuff. And that's all stuff Gracie like totally lives for. Yeah, she's definitely my holiday girl. She loves everything about Christmas. That's how you know you raised them right, right? Is that they just totally dig Christmas, right? Looks like I got a little bit of a bubble there. Let's just take this. Maybe that'll help smooth out a little bit. Okay, let me go grab my paintbrush really quick. And I think we're gonna add some Distress ink in there with my little brush. Kind of get a little more antiquing going on. Because with the Mod Podge, I know that it does kind of swirl and blend that a little bit. So, do we want to do that or do we want to wait till after? I think I do want to put a little bit of color in there, at least around the edges. Because like I said, remember the kids are going to be the ones in and out of this thing. So I think if I just ink the edges up a little bit, maybe, well, I guess you can't see it if I bring it all the way to me, can you? So I'm getting a little bit thick on those edges, but I think we'll like that in the end. Oh gosh, I just had a bad thing. Like, oh my god, I should say, did I glue that on the right way? Oh, can you imagine? Oh, I'm just now starting to feel better about this whole thing. And I know I'm on this no spend challenge, but I did buy a die this weekend because there's something really cute that I want to do on the inside, and I couldn't find anything that would really work well for that. Looks like there's some pencil mark or something there. Let's see if we can get it off. All right, we can't, so we're going to cover a little bit like that, I think. And maybe we should take that and do a little bit here. So I'll show you that die in a minute. Okay, so set this one aside for a second. This one. And I do think I've got a couple more things to do, obviously, in the inside with the backing paper. So maybe I'll get brave and put it on film. Like I said, it was a really a confidence decreaser, I guess is what you'd say. Yeah. Guess if I'm up like that, you guys can't really see it, huh? And for right now, I'm not really worried about those dauber things because I think since the Mod Podge is kind of water-based, I think it'll pull that Distress Oxide down. At least I'm hoping. If not, you know what? That's where we put lace or ribbon or something. Okay, so let me go grab that die really quick. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna love it. Watch, I can't find it right away. Oh, there it is. And I did have to get a new Winkastella because, funny story, Bo was messing around with the gold one, and he ended up shooting like a big pile of Inkastella out, and so yeah, it's gone now. Okay, so check that little stencil out, or not stencil, little die cut. Isn't that cute? So what I was looking for is something fireplace-ish, you know, bricks or a hearth or something, because I wanted to put little stockings on these, and I'm not sure if these seem pretty, I don't want to say complicated, but this piece here, there's like a ton of little stuff in there. So I may end up, I got these other like felt stockings I thought would be more kid friendly. So we'll just see how they go together, but I'll cut them and then we'll kind of put it together. How about that? All right, so I think I'm going to bring out my messy mats. I think I'm going to slip this in the cover to maybe try to mitigate the seepage onto the other pages while still covering like the edges. You would think I would learn by my numerous bottles of Mod Podge that I would just put wax paper there instead of trying to put the lid back on, huh? You'd think. But alas, no such luck. Oh, wow. Whew. Yeah, nothing like getting a good reminder that that stuff's pretty potent. Whew. I know, and I said I wouldn't use it till spring so I could open the windows, but you know, I think we'll like this. And it does pull that distress ink down a little bit. Not a ton, but a little. Oh, and these mats, just literally I got them like in a 2 or 3 pack from the Dollar Tree. And they've worked out pretty good. They're obviously nearing kind of their end. But I bet you if I just took them and washed them, I bet you we'd do okay. Oh, and I'm going to have to get some of that out of there. One of the other things I've really noticed about Mod Podge too, see if I don't go back through there and kind of pull that out, it's going to leave little whitish type things in there. Is my dryer's over there. So I might have to pause this video to get the to dry the front covers, but I think I'm liking that. Okay, let's work on this a little bit up here. I'm liking that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like turning the cover. And that's also another reason why I decided ultimately just to work with what you have, is because I liked the color of the book, like the cover, because I knew that it would look better than like because I would have to paint a black cover. Yeah, I knew I would have to do a bunch of altering, and I didn't really want to do that. And yes, I said I was going to try to have these done by Friday, but like I said, I just, you know, sometimes you just got to walk away. If you don't walk away, then you're going to end up with a bigger mess than, you know, than if you had just left it alone. All right, I'm going to pause and I'll be back in just a second with dry covers. Okay, so while we were paused for a minute, I went ahead and just put that Mod Podge on the back so that we can move on to this here. So let's get that glued on. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this and try really hard to not get it on my pretty nails. So I guess we could do a little challenge, question, that sort of thing. I debated whether to do this or not, but I think everybody would have fun with it. There's a very specific reason that my nails are painted this particular color. I'm wondering if, well, actually, okay, so I thought about this, and I was like, well, maybe, all right. So okay, how do I put this? I'm not typically a bragger, right? I don't like to do that. I don't, you know, and so when I'm really excited about things, sometimes I worry over much that maybe it may come across as bragging, you know, things like that. I try to always really be conscious about not doing that kind of thing. So that said, I debated, okay, so I thought it would be a really fun thing for us to do, but then I was like, well, maybe it'll be received wrong, but in the end, it is what it is. So I guess if people are offended by it, then they'll be offended by it. So I guess here's what I'm going to do. There's like I just said, there's a specific reason that my nails are painted the color they're painted. And if you watched the entire video last week, the answer is in there. So we're going to do like a little giveaway work thing here. And you know what I'm loving? Okay, because I was thinking, okay, we'll go back to that in just a minute. Do you see how that Mod Podge and stuff, even though I didn't put it here, but some of the ink is coming through and it's discoloring the white, like taking the white out of this. I'm loving that because it's really white. Like, yeah, and look at how white that is against that. And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll use some distress ink on the edges and whatnot. But it seems to kind of be taking care of itself here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. Okay, so back to this. Obviously, you know that I'm on Crafty Cat's design team. So I've been looking at, because you know me, I like to look ahead and kind of think through what I'd like to do in future months, right? When I was on Deb's design team, I pretty much, there was a couple of months that I struggled on which kit to do, not the ideas, but because I had so many that I would have liked to have done with so many of her kits, right? So I have lots of ideas that will work for a lot of her or all of her papers, but I'm kind of struggling with which kit. So what I thought, this will be the idea basically. The first person to guess why I have, ooh, that's not good. Do you see that? The blue is showing through there. All right, no worries. We will put something on there. We have tons of antique doilies and stuff now. So, well, not a ton, but you know what I mean. So yeah, the first person to guess why my nails are painted the color they are, I will create a journal, and you get to pick, or actually it could be another altered book. It could be, if you wanted like a file folder type journal, if you wanted one of the soft cover journals that I've made, like fabric covered, it could be any type of journal you want. And I will let you pick the kit that I do in January. And that'll be the first person who guesses correctly on why my nails are painted the color they're painted. So yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. See, and I was so worried about having those, that stuff that I ended up not needing that much fabric, but I don't feel like cutting it off on the back here. So yeah, but it covered all of it anyways. So, well, okay, I will say this. Sometimes I have trouble getting any glue to stick to Mod Podge other than Mod Podge. That was close. Oh, and that would be poly. So I will have to turn you off for a minute and come back in a minute. All right, talk to you soon, guys. Bye. Okay, guys. I am back at least for a minute. You know how it gets when you're in the final stages of closing and they want this document or that document. It's like, you already got it. No, we don't. Anyways, so I think I decided that to cover the spine area, I'm going to go ahead and use this guy here. And I got this at Walmart in the floral section. It was in August, I think. So it's this just huge thing of ribbon. And I haven't used a whole lot of it yet. So we're going to give it a whirl here. So yeah, I think it's probably not the best way to go about cutting it. Let's measure this out a little bit. So I went ahead and glued both on while I was on the phone. So and I think we'll have to cut it down a little bit more because I think we'll cut it here. So I guess I kind of feel like I didn't finish my thought earlier either. Well, I guess maybe I did. Never mind. It's Monday. And normally I don't film on Mondays, but this week is just a little bit different. Obviously stuff going on, but then also I do a lot of stuff for the office on the 10th, you know, that sort of thing. And so obviously today's the 9th, not the 10th, so I'll have to go into the office. Like, I'm just switching days. Instead of Monday Monday, Thursday. It's going to be Tuesday, Friday this week. So, all right, so I'm going to glue that on. And I think we're looking cute. And I do have a couple of poinsettia packs that I was thinking maybe we could add a little bit of poinsettias down here. Not really sure yet. We'll see how it looks. I don't know. Maybe we don't add it at all. I don't know. It's one of this. We're creating the cover together. And I think this glue bottle has just about had it. I mean, there's glue in there, but it seems like it just keeps getting more clogged and more clogged and more clogged. So I think my room gets pretty chilly at night, and so I think that's what might be affecting my glue. And I figured out gluing the second what's the word I'm looking for? The second book here, exactly what was going on with that blue. This book is so cheap, as we've already discussed, that it, the color, it was the color coming off the, like the print of the spine. Yeah, it, I think you saw when I was, taking the flat end of the glue bottle and kind of running it, down. Yeah, there was a big glob of blue, glue from there. Yeah, so a little disappointing, but you know what? We're just going to move on. Yeah. Oh, so Quilt's mom, the one that won the Christmas journal, has yet to claim the journal. So I am going to do a redraw on it. And that video I'll probably make tomorrow, unless I have time tonight to film it. Yeah. So I've made several attempts, and I've commented like on some of her comments on other YouTubers' channels, and yeah. I just asked her to get a hold of me, and yeah, I've yet to hear anything. So that is frustrating, one. And two, yeah, so we're just gonna redraw it. Gosh darn it. I'm bound and determined to like ruin this paint job. Yeah, gross. I probably should have like done this and then painted them, but you know, it is what it is. But I put like 3 layers of clear coat over the top, so we'll see. I was like, okay, so if I'm messing with my glue, but I have 3 layers, I got 3 layers before it eats it. So, because I can always put on more clear coat. Having time to actually paint, though, that's a problem. Okay, and I think this is probably, yeah, it's not what we want. So let's cut us another piece. And then, I don't remember who it was now. Oh, maybe it's Gail's journal like her December daily. I don't know if you guys have paid really close attention to her journal or not, but it has, it's like double lace closure. So I was thinking I liked it a lot. So it had like red and green ribbon as the closure. So I was thinking maybe we could do something like that with this one. Maybe. We'll see. I'm thinking that it might have eyelets. Like eyelets here, and then like it would basically be 4 ribbons and tie here maybe. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait to do the closure until probably like the last possible minute so that we know exactly how, like, is that about right? Nope. Too much. What was I? Exactly how much ribbon to use. Oh, so I guess I should tell you, so I don't know if I've said it before, but we have a unique property, and actually getting any type of loan on it or refinancing or anything like that is extremely difficult. Not because of its value or anything like that, but because of the way it was brought in and things like that. It's hard to do everything, and there's so many hoops that we have to jump through every time we do anything like this. So I'm going to give you an education you probably never even wanted to know about. So basically our house is a modular brought in 4 sections, built at the plant just like a house would be. Like, so it's a house, and then it's put on foundation. So it meets all of the stick-built requirements. It, you know, the 2x4s and everything like that are placed exactly how they would be in a stick-built house, right? And I have paperwork from, and this is the education I'm sure you guys never even wanted to know. The federal government has basically said that the state of Nebraska is basically the keeper of the keys, basically, because so like modulars or trailers come with a title, like just like a car. But then when they're placed on foundations, they do what they call a title purge, which means that the plate, like, because most trailers come with like a serial number plate, right? So then once the title's been purged, the plate's removed, right? Because it's no longer a trailer. It's been set to specs of a stick-built house. So all of that said, we have the federal government said that the state of Nebraska is perfectly fine to handle the engineer and the HUD reports and the purging of titles and whatnot, right? And it's been like that for a good many years. So this mortgage company has decided that the state of Nebraska really doesn't know what they're talking about. So they're making us order a engineer's report, which basically is going to say the same exact thing that because the inspectors have to submit it all anyways to the state of Nebraska. So it's getting ridiculous. We've never, ever, ever had this much nonsense with a loan ever. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And it's not us. It's not, you know, we had issues getting the appraiser to get back with, and do what they call this inspection report, or not inspection report, sorry, appraisal report. Because now I don't know if it's like this in every state, but, our government locally decided that, appraisal companies, like there was some really popular ones that basically got all the business and got all the bids. And that apparently wasn't fair, you know, to somebody else. And it's like, well, you know, that's, I hate to say it, but that's capitalism, and that's business done right, right? They wouldn't have repeat people or new business if they weren't doing something right, right? But anyways, so now the state of Colorado has this thing called a mortgage management company. And I think this will at least work for one, maybe. So yeah, all the appraisal companies now have to go through this mortgage management company. So literally 3 weeks. Like our appraisal's been done since like almost like the beginning of October. Oh, yep. I think that's going to finish them off nicely. What do you guys think? And then maybe like a couple up here. Oh my goodness. I think I like that. Okay. All right. So now we know what we're doing here. Okay. So anyways, back to my story. And I do usually remove these foam pieces because I don't want them coming off. Like damage, or you know, that's what I'm looking for. Not damaging the integrity, but coming off or coming apart. So yeah, I usually throw some extra glue in there. Anyways, so now this management, the mortgage management company, was supposed to have this appraisal. I guess it was called an appraisal update, which I don't know what the heck that was all about, because an appraisal is an appraisal, right? Once it's done, it's good for like 90 days, right? Anyways, well, it goes all back to this engineer's report, which they don't, in fact, need. Because what I was going to tell you is like the mortgage company is based out of California. And so they're going off of California law, not Colorado law. Which, I mean, I'm sure eventually Colorado will go, because we're already kind of turning into a mini California. Which I guess, depending on who you talk to, is a good or a bad thing. I mean, a native pretty much will tell you it's a bad thing. So it's kind of destroying our way of life a little bit, right? Like, yeah. Anyways, that all said, no, I'm not bitter at all. If you couldn't tell. Anyways, that all said, so they finally got all of that done and in late Saturday night. So it's been with the underwriter for a couple hours this morning. And that's when they come back and say, no, we really do need the inspector, like an inspector report, which again is going to be the exact same thing that I've had from the state of Nebraska. Because I had to get that from the state of Nebraska way back when we were getting the loan to pay this off after Grandma died, like to pay all of her debt off. It's already a report that I already spent money on and time getting for that original mortgage company. So yeah, it's going to be pretty, well, on one hand, it's going to be really funny that I'm right? And then it's going to be even funnier when it looks exactly the same from the state of Nebraska. Yeah, so frustrating. But over the weekend, I was just kind of like, you know what? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And there's not much we can do but either sit and wait or scrap the deal. But we're already, literally, guys, we're at over 120 days now. By the time we actually close, it's going to be closer to like almost 200 days. Probably. I don't know. We'll see. If miracles happen and we close Friday, that would be great. But I'm not going to hold my breath because they've been telling us we're in the home stretch for like 60 days. So yeah, interesting times. And like I said, more education than you ever probably wanted to know. But I am loving this journal. Or altered book, I guess it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and catch these little guys too while we're at it. While I'm here, I'm going to glue those down, I think. just in case, little fingers, and, you know, just in case they do put it like on a bookshelf or whatever, so that it's not catching up on things. And I think I'll try to see if I can get the bottom one too. See if there's any, yep, right there. Okay, I think the rest of those are pretty good. Actually, I think I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna go right in here. It's probably overkill, but again, little fingers. I want to make sure it's good and stuck and that everybody feels like they could touch it and not break it, you know? I guess that's another thing that I want to make sure of usually with all my journals, is that not only they're useful, but also that they're not gonna like people can use them. They don't feel like they're gonna break everything. All right, I'm gonna push those down again, and then I'm gonna set that aside for now. Let it dry, and we'll get the next one on, and then I think we'll call this a video, guys. Oh, aren't those just gorgeous? All right, so I used... Oh. All right, so what I was just him and hawing about. Okay, see how the leaves go this way on this one? They don't on this one, and I want them to. So what I'm going to do is just take this off. Oh, see, and it's going to make it easy. And then we just switch it. And then just put it like that. All right. Oh, Paul's trying to be so careful and not interrupt another video. How great is he? I do like that man. Yeah, once he found out that I was doing the video, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. He's adorable. Oh, I'm gonna have to wait for those. Yep. I'll just wait to glue those down in just a second to kind of get all that situated. I don't know, for some reason it's not grabbing real quick. It will grab, it's just not doing it very quick. All right, and 3 little ones up here. No, we place them first, right? Oh, I guess I should tell you where I got those. I mean, you might have already figured it out. They are glitter poinsettias, Little Birdie brand. Oh, it says they're handmade. Self-adhesive handmade. Huh. And I got those at Tuesday morning, and that is the SKU there. Yeah, I saw them and thought they were very pretty. Okay. Yep. I'm liking it. All right, and I think what I'm going to do next is I think I'm going to go take a break a little bit while these are drying and go find me some cute free downloadable crayon pages. And I think, oh, I mentioned before too, and I'm going to link the video, but also in that video, Amy did these large tags, and it was one of those aha moments where I was like, oh my gosh, those would make the cutest tags, like that shape. Like they were book in her thing, they're book page tags, right? Like they're full-size book pages. And but then she like lined them with the Dioria kit, but I was like, how cute would that be to put like to print them on cardstock and then back them with some of the kit papers. I think that'd be really cute. We're going to give it a whirl. And then I've got to, it probably won't be until like Wednesday's video. I've got to cut those fireplaces out for these. All right. There we are, guys. They've got to dry, and I got to glue a little bit more here, but I'll do that off camera. But look so far. They're looking adorable, aren't they? All right. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.